Hi there, I'm Carolyn Dickerson from Look Great, Lose Weight, Save Money.com. Today I'm going to show you how to trim your bangs and how to cut your bangs. Now I've been growing my bangs out for a while and I know I've looked pretty shaggy, but I was kind of doing an experiment and I wanted to show you how to cut your bangs. Without growing my hair out first and getting my bangs longer, I wouldn't have been able to show you. So we're going to go in the bathroom in just a few minutes and figure it out. Now you can either cut your bangs when they're wet or when they're dry. If you cut your bangs when they're wet, or your hair at all when it's wet, it's longer. When your hair dries, speaking of hair, when your hair dries it contracts. So when you cut it wet, you're going to need to cut it a little bit longer than what you really actually are going to get. In most cases, your hair is going to get a little bit shorter when it gets dry. But if you cut your hair when it's dry, you're going to get the finished product. One thing that I find useful is if you want to cut your hair when it's dry, or cut your bangs when they're dry, is to go ahead and straighten your hair as straight as possible, especially if you wear straight hairstyles. And even when you wear curly hairstyles, you're just going to want to cut it a little bit longer if you wear your hair curly all the time. If you wear your hair straight like I do, or I like to, then you're going to need to cut it the exact length that you want it. You can cut your bangs so that they're the standard bang trim, which is, it falls right at or above, slightly above the eyebrows. But I like my bangs a little bit longer, and I like them to fall on my cheekbones. What that does is it gives more angle to my face, and I also like to blend my bangs into the rest of my hair. And when we get into the bathroom, you'll be able to see exactly how the hairline falls and exactly how to cut it. Now, a lot of women cut their own bangs. When I first started working at a salon years ago, it used to really piss me off when ladies would come in and they'd messed up their bangs and I had to fix their mess-ups. But over time, I realized that everybody does it. Everybody cuts their own bangs. There's no way to stop it. I actually encourage my clients to cut their bangs now and I teach them how to do it because they're going to do it anyway. So why not show them the correct and the proper way to do it? If you're in an emergency and you need a bang trim, you can always, run in a salon, but it's really easier if you can just do a simple few things for yourself at home. I also wanted to remind you that if you have any hair questions, you can go to my website and look in the Ask Questions. It's Look Great, Lose Weight, Save Money.com Hair Care Questions. It's on the nav bar. Just click on the nav bar and you can submit your own questions. I'll answer any questions that you have. If you've bought a hair color book from me, you get to ask anything. If you haven't bought a book, then you can ask me general questions. But I'll try and help everybody as best I can. All right, let's get to it. Let's go trim our bangs. Okay, we're back, and I'm going to show you. Now, if you want to do a standard bang trim, which is your standard bang that falls on your eyebrows or above your eyebrows, you're going to want to part the hair down the middle, and then you take your hair in a triangle. Now, you don't want to go back too far on your hairline. I usually judge how far back to start the triangle by measuring from about the front of the ear up. And that's going to be about as far back as you want to go. And then you just take out a triangular section and you hold the hair down and you judge where you're going to cut your bangs by the bridge of your nose. This big bone that protrudes on your nose is going to be where you're going to want to cut your hair if you want your hair to fall at or above or below the eyebrow line. Now, if you're doing it on dry hair, your hair is already shrank, so you don't have to worry about cutting it too short. Just cut little bits at a time and then look at it and judge it by the way it falls. Don't ever cut too much. It's better to cut too little and go back and cut a little more than it is to cut too much. But that's the way you cut hair to make it a standard bang. If you want your hair to not be straight across, you want to cut little triangles into the bottom of the hair. And so you're just going to cut little mountains like this into the bottom of your hair to get an uneven look. I don't like bangs that fall straight across, but you may have picked out a hairstyle where you want them to fall straight across. And all you do is lay out the hair. My hair's cut to the side now, so if you just want to have it so it's not straight across, you can just lay it down and look at the pieces that go straight across, and then just cut little sections, just V out little sections in the hair like that, and then you'll get your uneven look. Now, I have already cut my hair. I had it in a video, but my son screwed it up, so I'm having to redo this. But I did want to show you how to cut your bangs if you part your hair to the side. If you part your hair to the side, most of the time you cut it to one side or the other, or you wear it one side or the other. And I certainly wear mine parted on the left more often than I do the right. And you can see where I've began to trim on my hair, and I'm going to work at it probably for the next couple of days. One thing you want to eliminate are these V's, these pointed V's. If you have any of those, you want to get rid of those, especially if you want a blended look. And I like my bangs to hit right on my cheekbone, which I've already done, and then I like to blend it into the bottom of my hair. You may find that you part it in a slightly different, you part it a little bit further to the left or further to the center another day, and then you can find little strays that are uneven and pick those up. But basically, if you want a blended look that blends into your main bang, and you want to cut a little bit more hair, pull the hair that is in front of the ear, mark it from there, and pull that hair forward, and then you'll see a line that you can create going from here to wherever you want to blend it into. And then you just create that line in your head, and you cut up that line. And as you can see, that I've already done that. And I can go back into it and chop into it this way a couple places, or I could chop into it this way and take out some of that weight. Another way to take out weight is to get thinning shears and to thin angularly. You want to pull it out, and I can cut up here to create more a layered look and a sharper contrast throughout there. But for right now, I don't like to cut too much at one time. I've already trimmed this side, and you can see the line that I've created. Now there's another little triangle that I found, and I'm going to want to take care of that. And I see another stray hair down here. But like I said, you can see them, and don't keep cutting and keep cutting and keep cutting. Just let it kind of sit and get used to it. I've taken some of it out on this side. You can see the layers that were cut before, the angle of it. It's going straight down now. I may want to take a little bit more of that and get rid of some of these hairs in here and cut those up and blend those a little bit better. And so you can see already how much that's helped, and that looks really nice. This one is thicker side, and thicker sides take a little bit longer to get used to, but my hair is lighter, it feels better, and I'm pretty much ready. And I've been waiting a long time to trim my bangs so that I could show y'all, but I didn't want to look like a shaggy dog anymore. So that's it for today. I'm Carolyn Dickerson for Look Great, Lose Weight, SaveMoney.com. This edition has been how to trim or cut your bangs. See you next time. Ciao for now.